Hey guys, how are ya? Stel here.
Hey guys, it's Sarah. How's it going?
Welcome back to another episode of Dun Everyday Sex.
Everyday sex, yes. Welcome back. Sorry, Nala's all over the place here. This is season 3, episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Today's,
Um,
today's the 13th.
and today's the 13th. Taylor Swift's lucky number.
That's my lucky number.
Is it?
Yes.
Cool. It's gonna be a good episode then. That's what that means.
Oh,
Um, okay, what's up? Give us a brief update. How was your weekend?
busy. I worked a
Mhm.
lot. I went to a batting cage. My arms are very sore from that, especially my hands. My hands really hurt. And like to touch, I'm like, ow.
Mhm.
It's pretty rough. So I'm pretty sore.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Sore from
I,
anything else?
no,
Nothing.
no.
No other physical activity.
I think I danced a little.
Yeah. No,
Mm,
yeah. That
mm,
and that
mm.
could make a gal sore. Okay.
Yeah,
Batting and dancing. That's it. That's all that you did this weekend.
yeah.
Nothing else you want to share with us.
No, I'm good.
Mhm. Okay. Um, cool. Um,
Okay, yeah. I had sex.
oh fuck yeah. Still had sex. God, been a minute. What a dry spell. I'm just kidding. It hasn't been that long for you. Um,
Yes.
that's exciting. Share with our viewers more details about that without being invasive to the privacy of your CSP.
Um, we went to a friend's birthday. Went back to mine because we were really tired. We ordered some food. It could have probably happened that night, but then I was in my head.
Mhm.
Then I said nope, and then we went to bed. And then I thought about it all night. I could barely sleep. And then I felt better about it in the morning.
Mhm.
And then it happened in the morning.
And so in the evening, when you felt like it could have happened, did you feel like when you say you were in your head, expand on that, like just feeling what exactly?
Um, I've mentioned before that I'm not like huge on sex. And like I've mentioned before, I think I'm just like pretty insecure about a few things. And I don't know, I have a really like perfectionist mindset where I'm like, oh, I hope like I gotta be good at it. And if I'm not good at it, like fuck. Like you
Mhm.
know what I mean? And so like my ego gets really hurt easily. And I know that's not a good thing, but I'm working on it. At
Mhm.
least I'm aware.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I don't know. I was just kind of feeling like I don't know if I want to do this yet. Like, and like I obviously wanted to, but it was more like I don't know if I'm ready yet. I just have had like so much. There's a lot of trauma behind sex for me, I guess, and so I
Mhm.
just kind of get weird about it at first.
Mhm.
But as soon as it happens, I'm pretty good about it after.
Mhm.
I think I just need like a 1, 2, 3, and then like 3 times, and then I'm like feeling much more confident and like easygoing about it.
Takes a while to get used to your partner and getting comfortable. Like, I know some people are more comfortable naked than others, but for a lot of people, it takes, a few times to feel like fully comfortable being like not just naked with someone, but of like giving your body to someone. It is a
Mhm,
big deal. So,
mhm,
so I get that. And so then in the morning you did, and it was great.
mhm.
Correct. Cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty darn good.
Shout out to Margot. Yeah,
Shout out to Margot.
great.
That shit was good.
Yeah. Oh my God. People are not gonna want to date us. Or they're
Because
gonna
we just talk about them on our podcast, and then if something
yeah.
happens, we ruin them. No, I'm just
No, I've had girls that are like, "Oh, are you gonna tell us on the podcast? Are you gonna tell the podcast this?" I'm like, "No, yes, maybe." Yeah, no, people are not gonna want to date us because they'll be scared that everything's gonna be exposed. I would never ever speak like even when I've been the most heartbroken. Okay, also, side note, I had a girl slide. This just made me think of it, but I had a girl slide from New Zealand, and it brought up some memories. It's like, no, I don't know about that. Yeah, no, obviously not the same girl. A new,
oh,
yeah, no, a new one from New
oh,
Zealand. I was like, oh
oh my god,
no,
dude.
no, she slid on Instagram and she was like, "Hey, like Instagram message requests, okay?" And she was like, "Hey, I listened to your podcast and it's so good. Like I love it, blah blah blah." And I thought it was just I thought it was just a fan, telling that's a joke sort of. But I thought she was just sliding to be like, "Oh, your podcast is really good." And I said, "Thanks, like thanks for the message." And then she was like, "So, like continuing to talk. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Anyways, New Zealand. Yeah, that's
Man, you scared me there. You're gonna rewatch this, and my reaction was so genuine in the
yeah,
fact that I thought it was the other New Zealand girl.
yeah. I don't know if I ever even what was even her fake name. I don't know. Anyways,
What was their real name? I don't even remember.
it's all a blur. Okay, but that's not what we were. Okay, what were, I don't. Oh yeah, I would never get on here, even when I was the most like heartbroken, like Lana or whatever the New Zealand girl's name is.
What
Um,
was her
I
fucking name?
I never I would never come on here and speak of somebody in a really negative way. Like especially like I don't know, I would never like let's say I had a sexual experience where something like embarrassing happened
Yeah.
or like what we think would be embarrassing or whatever. I would never ever come on here and like expose that. Like I think there's definitely a fine line between just like a girls chat on the pod because that's what a lot of people say when they listen to our podcast is it just feels like a bunch of friends hanging out in the living room like talking shit and that's what it is really.
It is.
Okay, speaking of that, guys, wait, number one, I spent the weekend in Whistler and it was
Yeah.
really fun. Yeah, the drive out there was really beautiful, like through the mountains and
I'm
stuff.
so jealous.
Yeah, well, it was the same drive you and I did
I
out to
guess.
Squamish, except the vibes were different this time. The vibes were.
Whatever.
And at the ferry station this morning, I was like, last time I was here, Phil and I were both crying. So,
We were so mad at each other.
yeah, we were.
We both hated saying sorry to each other.
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh
was
God.
not the
Took us
best morning.
hours just to admit fault.
Yeah, yeah. But so in other news, spent the weekend in Whistler, blah blah. Now I'm back in Vancouver, or back on Vancouver Island in Ladysmith for the day, and then tomorrow I'm flying to Ottawa, and I haven't been back since like at all since I moved here. And Stella and I were just discussing before we pressed record that she'll pick me up from the airport. Little reunion, and Julian has offered some in studio time for us
Oh
next
baby.
weekend.
We're back for a bit.
So we're gonna be like on the same couch recording, and that's fucking crazy. Like I'm so excited. The vibes. And because when we were doing that the first time around for the first season, we didn't know like because we pre-recorded, we had no idea what was going to come of this podcast at that point. So we were just kind of like doing our best, and we knew nothing about podcasting. And now coming back, like season 3, almost 30 episodes in, getting back on the couch together, like it's just going to be really fun. So, so next week's episode will be in studio, the three of us in the same room together. So that'll be great.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's super exciting. I'm super pumped to see you. It's gonna be fun to be back in the studio.
It's gonna be fun to be in the studio. It's gonna be fun for me to be in Ottawa. You know, catching up, seeing folks I seeing
Uh-huh.
seeing some old friends, you know.
What ends?
See,
Damn,
I'll
man.
probably what?
No.
Are you eating rockets?
Yes, I got them for Halloween.
Okay. No, cool. But yeah, no, I'm excited to be in Ottawa. I'm excited to eat shawarma and probably make a few mistakes. That's pretty much what my plan is.
Mm. Stay true to that one.
Always.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We're 10 minutes in already. Whole lot of just life updates there. But the theme of this episode is I haven't really come up with an exact title. That'll be decided after, but the overarching theme is fuck the bare minimum.
But that's what it was called.
Well, I'm not going to be able, okay, yes, that's what I've been calling it, but I can't put that in the title on social media because it'll get flagged. So I have to think of
Just do
something
F.
different. Oh, like EFF? F the bare minimum? Oh, is that what you're thinking? Is that what you mean?
I guess. Or you can just, I don't know, or just put like F star star star.
Okay. I'll get creative. When people are listening to this, they'll already have the title. So anyways, this
I
is a
guess.
brainstorming session.
I wonder which one we chose.
Yeah. It'll be a mystery. Yeah. Okay, but first, I sent you a note.
Yeah.
Can you read us the opening line?
Sarah's PP theory.
Say it again. What is it? Okay, I sent Stel the notes for this episode, but I added something last minute that I want to talk about. Wait, what is it?
Sarah's PP theory.
Oh yeah. Okay,
How
so
was that?
this is what I've been thinking. I've been thinking about this for a few weeks. Okay, I have a theory called the PP theory. Okay, this is a true theory. Okay, I'm not gonna call myself a philosopher of any means, you know, but I have a theory called the called the prohibited pussy theory. Is it or is it not true that the most desirable and best pussy is prohibited? Let me expand on that. Oh,
God just sent me. Holy shit.
okay, but when a girl isn't interested in you, tell me that's not the one you want more. That's kind of a chase thing. Or when it's an ex that you like that is in a new relationship, or like someone that I don't know, somebody that's obviously bad for you that like you know you shouldn't go for. Why is that the best coochie ever? True or false? Is this theory true?
Yeah, true.
It is. It is. Anyway, that's the PP theory.
Yeah.
Prohibited pussy theory.
Damn. You got me there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it lately.
The PP theory. How ironic.
Yeah. I know. Like, you know, the girl, I was gonna use her real name. You know, the girl I was talking to when I first moved here? She helped us get on
Mm-hmm.
the ferry. Fake
Uh-huh.
name.
You had to have even given her one, and I can't even remember.
And I want to say Rhonda, but I know I've used that fake name. I don't know where I used that.
I think Rhonda was.
Oh no, that was I know who it was. Oh, because I keeping the for okay. Name. Oh God, why does this happen? Why do I do this? Fake name. Can you help me? I can't. I can't.
What did their name start with?
R.
Roberta.
Okay, that's. I hate that we can never go back. You said it, so now that's it. That's her fake name. Like we can't go back. Okay, so Roberta. It doesn't even matter what the fuck her name is. Um, like she and I saw each other a little bit when I first moved here, but then like just kind of fizzled, like whatever. And then she got into like, and then I like showed no interest for like months. And then she
Mm.
got into a new relationship, like not super recently, like a couple months ago. And
Oh my
pretty much
god.
as soon as she got, I actually have to read it because it's pretty funny.
Please, this is the funniest shit ever.
Did I send you screenshots when it happened?
Yeah. No, you sent me a voice clip.
That's
That was, guys, you have to understand that a voice clip was 10 times better than this, but this is still pretty good.
yeah. So she posts that she's cuffed. Okay. And the day after that she posts a hard launch, I text her, "Are you cuffed or can we make out?" And she says, "Girl, are you serious? You're telling me now that you want to make out right after I said that I'm dating someone? God damn." And then I said, "Hee hee hee. I'm so funny. Sorry." And then I said, and she didn't answer. She didn't answer. And then I said, "I'll take that as a no." And then she said, "You're ridiculous." Like rejected, curved, hard as fuck, which I
Okay,
appreciate.
well, honestly, you deserve that.
I know that, but this is the PP theory. Why the I was not interested for months, like, and we're like friends now, and why? So if we when we are friends, so why would I say that? Why would I text her that? Because I'm a victim of the prohibited pussy theory. I don't even, yeah, anyway, you know what? It's, and then, okay, yeah, no, and yeah, so
Or you're just a bad person.
that's true. Oh, this was a while ago, but it's so,
Joking.
I just think that it's, it's a real problem. Anyways, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about, uh, how do we get back to my PP theory? Okay, anyways, we're talking about um
Okay, fuck the bare minimum.
mhm.
Let's start with stating your needs.
Yes. So when you're in a relationship, I think we have a tendency to um I don't know, like just go with the flow and get used to things how they are and kind of get like quiet about what we want. When I wrote stating your needs, I meant sexually mostly, but
Mm,
could be in all areas. But whether you're dating for a month or 6 years or 6 months, like you having the confidence and the comfort in a relationship and security to be able to say to your partner, I want more of this or less of this, like
mm,
sexually or not sexually, like even kind of touching on the love languages. I, telling your partner, like, I really appreciate that you do this, but I would also appreciate if you did more of this and being able to, I don't know, just be comfortable to express what you really want.
like be able to vocalize yourself.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, just being confident and something Rachel said in one of our past episodes was advocating for yourself in the
Yeah,
bedroom. What are
that's
your
a good way
thoughts?
to put it. Oh yeah, it's like, and also like I feel like that helps with what we learned the other day, like the full body yes.
Yeah,
You
I love
know,
that phrase.
Frank, so do I. I'm
Mhm.
learning so much.
I feel like when you told us about your current sexual partner, that the night of you weren't a full body yes, like that's a pretty good example where you were obviously into it, like you're into her
Yeah,
a lot, and you felt like I'm assuming like turned on and all those things, but
for sure.
if there's any block up, it's not gonna flow.
Oh, I just felt it in my gut. Like I was like,
Mhm. Like you just weren't ready. Yeah. No, I
uh,
love that full body yes
yeah.
thing. And I think that when it comes to stating your needs, our second point here that is directly tied is something that my friend Amy talks about a lot lately, which is courageous communication.
Yeah, you mentioned that the other day.
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, when we were talking about you setting boundaries for yourself, more so even in friendships. Like,
Mm,
Stella and I talked about that there are times when one of us doesn't have like the bandwidth or the capacity to
mm,
hold space for the other person. And that's really, really hard to say to your best friend, like, okay,
yeah,
listen, I know that you're having like a really, really hard day right now, but like I also am, and I just like can't be there for you the way that I need to be there for you. Can we talk tomorrow? Like, and that
yeah,
takes serious fucking courage. Like,
for sure.
mhm.
No, for sure.
So yeah, just being able to being able to communicate, and same with a partner, like coming
Mm,
home from work after a long day and being able to say to them like, listen, I know that you want to talk about whatever it is, I just like don't have the capacity at this time. Can we just like watch a movie tonight and tomorrow we can discuss like this heavier topic, whatever that might be.
yeah,
um so setting boundaries is important for sure. um yeah. Are you
I
good?
like setting boundaries. Sorry, I was just trying to check something with the sound. My
Oh,
sound
okay.
was just being a little weird.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, yeah.
How do you set boundaries with a partner? What does that look like?
I actually find I have trouble with it, and we've talked about this before. Like, I just think I'm so like always like whatever you want,
Mhm.
whatever you need,
Mhm.
and I'm always just like happy to do it. But I'm trying to like be more assertive about what I want and like speak up for myself, I guess. So like advocate for myself,
Mhm.
because I usually tend to just kind of take the back seat and just go along with everything. But yeah, setting boundaries just like are it's scary, but it's like it's scary, but it's like necessary.
And I feel like for you, because you mentioned before that you're big on acts of service, if you've had a long day, you've worked a double, and you're just getting into bed, and your partner says, hey, like, sorry, it's late. Can you come pick me up from work? I just know that you're going to get out of bed and go because that's
Yeah,
what you do. But if you knew that you had to be at the school in the morning for work and it was already 11:30 or whatever, like it's yeah, that's kind of an example where that's a tough one because I know that you would just go, but maybe once in a while in that situation, if you really felt like I'm exhausted, I really can't, like, I need to go to bed, like, sort of thing.
yeah,
Having the boundary to just say, like, do you mind, like, or I'll pay for the Uber or whatever, like, you can navigate that. But
yeah.
being able to, and that's not, it sound, setting a boundary sounds more firm and more like aggressive than it is. It's just about like you can't be there for your partner if you're not there for yourself. So
No, for sure, for sure, for sure. So like, yeah, I'm trying to like do that right now and just kind of communicate better without feeling attacked and stuff like that. So
mhm. Yeah.
It's all a learning process, I guess.
I think a lot of our conversations on here, regardless of topic or theme, like it always comes down to communication.
For sure.
Like, and I think that's something that when like you and I can reflect on how we communicated with ourselves, each other, our partners when we first met, like at
Mm,
19, versus how we communicate with everyone around us now is so different. Like, we
yeah,
learn a lot as we get older about
for
that.
sure. No, I agree.
So, and kind of also, so, okay, so I was on this girls trip this weekend and I was telling, there was 6 of us and a couple of the girls are bi, but, all,
Uh,
all of them date, what?
nothing.
You said hot? Yeah, you did. Um, but anyways, they're all like everybody in the room is dating a man, or sleeping with a man or whatever. And so, except for me, sorry, we can be clear, except for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. Yeah. So anyway, I was talking to them about how like we were discussing like the difference between dating a man and dating a woman, and my next point for this conversation we're having is intentional conversation. And when I would be talking to men, getting to know men like on a dating app or like whatever, it was always very like, hey, how's it going? Good. How's your day? What do you do for work? What's your favorite color? Blah blah blah. Do you do anal? The usual the usual questions. But
I
with
was waiting for that.
yeah, I always add that. I can't help it. Once I start rolling, I just, anyways, but with women, like when I met Brittany on Hinge,
Brittany.
like my first girlfriend, her and then like women I'm talking to now or whatever, it's never, hey, how are you? Like my conversations are all like 6, 7 paragraphs long all the time. Like I think when you're actually dating someone, it's not really like that. Like, cause it is more like day to day. And then you like, especially if you live together, obviously it's not going to be like that. But like the getting to know each other stage dating women is way different. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
Like it's so deep.
it
Like
is. Oh, that's why I don't like Margot.
what?
Like I do like Margot. I
Okay.
don't mean like I don't like Margot. Like I mean like this is why they just get me cuz like this is what makes me like them because they like make me talk about things that I don't want to talk about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh,
Like what?
feelings.
Yeah, them.
Lots of feelings and why I act the way I do and why I did this and really dig deep.
Yeah. No,
But my roommate does the same thing, and I'm always like, how did you just trap me into this conversation?
yeah, yeah. No, and it's very like that. Like it just with men, it's just not like, and not
Yeah.
all girls are like that. Um, but a lot of the time, the back and forth conversation is very like intimate, like right off the bat.
Intimate and
And when it's because when you're not like a big texter. I text like I'm into texting. So
I like calling.
yeah. Yeah, you do like calling.
I do like I call you all the
Yeah.
time.
But when I showed the girls like this weekend some of these conversations, they were like, "Holy shit, like I would never do that. Like who has the time?" blah blah blah. But circling back to the initial point is the intentional conversation. I don't fucking want to talk about people's favorite color and where they went to school. Like I'll ask those questions because it's important to me to know like a person's like general history, but I want to talk about like hopes and dreams. Like I don't know, I want to talk about where do you see yourself like in the future, and like tell me about your friendships and what like if you're passionate about work, tell me about why, and like all of these way more important things, like I don't want to talk about boring shit like the small talk. Like
Yeah.
lesbians don't do small talk.
Not really. Yeah, you're right.
Like they don't, like it's all very like intimate. And one thing I'll say when it is really like long conversations like that, um I can't really be as like responsive because I know that when I open a message with like this person, I'm going to need to like be sitting down and like paying attention because I have to read all 6 paragraphs and then respond to each one. And that's the other thing about women is um I find that like, okay, I'll tell a girl on Friday, oh, and then on Monday, I'm recording the podcast with Stel, blah, blah, blah. This week, we're going to be talking about this. And then I won't mention it again, but she will bring it up Monday morning and say, have fun recording the podcast. I blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And like men never did that with me. Like they don't remember. Like women listen, they ask questions, especially, I mean, maybe it's just the women I'm talking to that are like, I don't know, interesting
It's
and
called the golden retriever
oh, I
mask.
do. Oh, fuck, I love a golden retriever mask.
That's
Mm,
what I am.
yeah,
I
except
really
not
am.
you.
No, don't.
Okay, don't be rude. The other day, Stella was like, "What if I called you?" She was just like, "What if I
Shut
called?"
up.
So I was like, "What if I called you and told you that I was in love with you?" I'm not going to because I'm not, but like, what would happen? Like, what? It's like, I don't know. Like, that would never happen. That's not. We're not even gonna
That
entertain
joke.
it.
Oh, I actually cracked myself up.
I was like, wow.
That's what
I was like, that's not a good business decision for the podcast. Honestly, it would really ruin it. Oh my god.
that was hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you have to say to us about? I don't know. Today, to be honest, today's topic is pretty loose. Like we're kind of just talking like relationships, communication, and
Yeah.
um, not settling, and you know, like
Yeah.
just I don't
So there
know.
was a situation. Maybe I'll talk about it with you here. I don't think I've told you this yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm hoping Margot won't be upset about me bringing this up, but
Oh my god, I'm excited.
better ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
um, so there's a situation, and maybe I understand where they are coming from, but I'm someone who likes to deal with the problem right away because I hate feeling about it and thinking about it the whole time while we're doing something else.
Hmm.
It really stresses me out.
Hmm.
And so usually I like to just like take a couple minutes and like be able to deal with our problem, handle it, feel good about it, and then break. Oh
Hmm.
shit. And so I forget their nickname. Not Margot's, but
Your ex?
yeah.
Like your main ex?
Yeah.
Josephine, duh.
Oh. Holy moly, that's awesome. um so when I was dating Josephine got me this sweater.
Oh, here we
It's
go.
my favorite sweater. It's the warmest sweater I have.
Is it the essentials one?
Yes, but I just love that sweater. Like,
Yeah.
there's no. I understand, okay? But in the moment, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just like, ooh, it's so cold. Let me get you the warmest sweater I have.
Hmm.
And then they decided to go with a different sweater, anyways. And the next day, they were going to wear it. And then they were like, oh, like, I don't know how it got to that point where I was like, and they were like, no way. And they're like, fuck off. They were really upset.
So
And
she said, I need a sweater to wear. You gave her the essentials hoodie. Then she said, where is this from? And somehow it came up into conversation. And then you said, my ex gave it to me. And she said,
well, I didn't even have to say it. They knew
yeah, yeah.
already. Um, um, but yeah, so then we were going to get coffee though with my roommate and their friend, and it was just awkward the whole way there. I felt so in my head about it because I didn't get to have a conversation and really. Oh, I could just. Oh, I was just. Oh, I felt so bad the whole time.
Hmm. So
And
it
it
was
was
like,
like
it was awkward and tense between
it
you two.
was, and then eventually it just kind of blew over. But then today we talked about it, and I said I really don't like how that whole situation was handled. Like, can we talk about it more? And they were like, yeah, of course. Like, we can have a bigger conversation about this. And then
Mhm.
they were like, I will admit, like, I didn't handle it that well.
Mhm.
And it wasn't necessarily what they did or what I just like the whole situation in general, I just didn't enjoy.
Mhm.
Um, so I just wanted to talk about it. And that I've never done that before. And like, I'm trying really hard to be good about communicating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, you easily could have just let it be swept under the rug, and then it would have become another issue maybe a month from now with maybe not a sweater, but a pair of shoes. Or do you know what I mean? Like it would have come up again. And being able to say to your partner, okay, we had conflict and I don't really like how it was handled. I
Yeah.
think that takes courage and um, also again security in the relationship, because if you feel like the relationship is at risk, or like if you're okay, let me tie this back to like, because what we want like I said, guys, whoever's listening, this episode is pretty loose and just kind of a chat, a pretty casual chat, but
Mhm.
what we wanted the overall theme to be was like fuck the bare minimum and be able to recognize where you're not receiving the treatment that you deserve.
Yeah.
And if you feel, so back to your situation, if you felt in that situation that you couldn't communicate with her the next day to um, say, hey, listen, that didn't go the way that I maybe wanted it to. And can
Yeah.
we talk about how it was handled? If you didn't feel safe and secure in the relationship, you would not have done that, because you would
Yeah.
have felt like she's going to leave if I say something. And I've
Yeah.
absolutely been with people where
Yeah.
I avoided talking about issues because I felt like there was a risk that they would just leave if I brought it up.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
for people listening, if you feel like you don't have the safety and security in your relationship to talk about like the way that you're feeling, whether it's like sad that day about something or upset about something they did, even if it's kind of blown over as the
Hmm.
day goes on, if you feel like um sorry, Stella just texted me. So okay, so sorry. Gotcha. Noted. If you feel like they don't, like your partner can't hold space for you without it being a risk, then either discuss that with them, or I don't know. I'm not saying like break up with them. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
it's something to consider in a relationship.
Yeah. So it's nice but spooky because it's new to have that kind of communication, and it's really uncomfortable sometimes, but it's important and necessary,
Hmm.
I think. I don't know.
Hmm. No, I agree.
Which is like kind of like the next little thing we want to talk about, which is like setting intentions in relationships, right? It's like that again requires communication and
Hmm.
like being honest about things and not feeling like you have to hold back because like these intentions are important.
Yes. And so in the online dating world, you make your profile and it'll ask, what are you looking for on Hinge, or what are you looking for on
Yeah.
Bumble, whatever it is. And we would hope that people that are signing up are going to answer that question honestly. But I think the whole setting intentions in a relationship starts at the very beginning. And
Mm.
sometimes, like we've discussed here, sometimes people think they're ready and then they're not, or they, um, yeah. So anyway, see, like, how did I even? That's definitely not where I was going with that. Uh, anyway, setting intentions in relationship, like, I don't know. It's hard because there's a fine line between um coming on too strong, like just like your first message being like, "Hi, I'm looking to get married and I want to have 3 kids and I want," like that. Obviously, that's a bit too much for a lot of people. Maybe it works for some people, but within the first few conversations or the first few days or whatever the timeline is, establishing with the person that you're getting to know, like, are you just looking to have sex and have fun, or are you looking for something serious? Because otherwise, are we wasting each other's time? I think that's an
Mm.
important conversation to have. And with men, that conversation of, it's not the what are we conversation, like it's really more just what are your intentions. And
Yeah.
it's hard to answer that a lot of the time right off the bat, because, and that's why I said it can be too soon. You have to be your own judge of that. But because my answer to that sometimes would be, I don't know you well enough to know that yet.
Mm.
Like, my intentions are that I would be looking for something serious, but not just with anybody. So maybe
Exactly.
you meet someone and it doesn't flow in that direction, but
Mm.
you want to be friends or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, just establishing your intentions before things get too deep, I would say.
Mm. It's important.
And being clear when those intentions might change.
Yeah, and I'm like always very, very clear about what I am into. Like I'm sometimes too honest,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I'd rather be overly honest than lie about things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even in this situation with Lana, which is the dumbest fucking fake name for her. I hate it. Um, obviously, like, you know, like, obviously it's not what I wanted, but I would rather her tell me the truth rather than, like, I think the phrase is being like, hurt me with the truth, don't comfort me with a lie.
Yeah,
So yeah, just being, I don't know, yeah, just being honest about your intentions. And sometimes that's hard, but I think that's important to everybody, because people don't want to feel like their time was wasted. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
so that's important. Um, the next one is another important one when I think about, like, not like, just about relationships and that, like, relationships in general, I guess, is something that I'm talking about with people recently when I'm getting to know them is, like, it's important to feel full in your own self before, this is just my opinion. It's important to feel full and content on your own before seeking partnership, as in a
Yeah,
relationship. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
I agree with that
Why?
because it's hard. It's like you think you're. Oh, I don't know. It's like half half sometimes. Like I find you can never really feel totally full, but you feel pretty good. And you could probably still build yourself up enough to feel full alone. But it's better to be more full than not because, like, how are you going to put that energy into them when you can't even put it into yourself?
Yeah. And I there's a basic human need for social connection and love. We
Mm.
want love and physical touch. Like, that's like a
Mm.
human biological need. So I'm not saying, like, everybody needs to be so independent that they never need a man or a woman, or who, whatever
Mm.
gender. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, I'm good. I'm happy. I have a strong social, like, I'm speaking for myself, but also just as an example. I'm good. I'm good in my career. I'm happy. My day to day life is good. Like, and then seeking someone that complements me, not
Mm.
complicates it,
Yeah.
because I don't, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good on my own. I don't need anyone. That's my point. Is I don't want anyone to need anyone. If you feel like you're dependent on your partner for the daily kind of just, like, emotional support. Like, yes, we depend on our partner
Mhm.
for emotional support, but that you cannot function without them, kind of thing.
Mhm.
That's when it's more of an anxious attachment,
Yeah, for sure.
probably a little bit unhealthy. But
Yeah.
like, the general gist of what I'm trying to say is, feel like, have yourself at a point, like, mental health wise, physical health wise, maybe, um, just all the ways that you feel content, because the whole law of attraction is, we'll receive what we're radiating out. So, and that's, like, I
Mm.
think that's why I found the most, like, amazing connections out here is because I'm the person that I've always wanted to be out
I
here.
feel that.
Yeah.
I really feel that.
And when you're in a low spot and you're radiating that negativity, you're probably going to attract people that aren't going to benefit you in the long
Yeah,
run.
for sure. I agree with that. Someone told me that too once, and I was like, ah. And then I changed it up, and now I'm surrounded by a lot of great people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Feel the desire you are seeking, recognize it, then feel it yourself.
Yes. That's something that I've been told by friends here as being able to, like, honestly, this first came up when I was discussing with people around here about issues I've been having with family
Yeah.
and feeling like I'm like really trying to like reach out and maintain a connection with a few family members that I've kind of become like estranged from.
Mm,
And something that someone said to me around here was like, figure out like why do you want your like aunt's or your grandmother's attention so badly? Like what are
yeah.
you getting from her? Like so similarly like with a partner, what or the potential partner. Like let's say you're single and you're feeling that like I need a boyfriend, I need a boyfriend, I need a girlfriend, whatever it may be. Why? Like like identify the need that you're
Yeah.
feeling and the like what is it that you really want in that moment, and give it to yourself if possible. Give it to yourself, whether that's going and masturbating, that's a good place to start,
Mm,
or cooking yourself a nice meal, or going for a drive and listening to music, or calling a friend to talk about your day. Like, identify what it is that you're missing, like, identify the hole that you're feeling, and then how else can I fill that that isn't dependent on someone else, like a potential
yeah.
partner. So,
Huh.
thoughts?
I don't even know. You just said so much. I was just so like, I don't even know where to begin, dude. You just blew. Whoa. See that stutter? Just blew my mind.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't even, I don't know, man. That's okay. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about it, Sarah.
Oh, oops. Um, yeah, well, no, that's pretty much that. There's nothing really more on that one. Um,
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward, you know?
yeah, yeah. Okay, and then another thing about, I don't know, relationships and okay, here's another line that I've heard recently that I find to be very helpful. Like, and I say this to you all the time. I say it to other people. People say it to me. Stop focusing on do they like me, and take a step back and critically think, like
Oh, yeah.
critically think, do I like them? Like really. And I hope everybody listening really hear what I just said.
Mm,
We are constantly worried about how did that first date go? Are they thinking about me? Why haven't they texted me? They left me on red. We had a date last night and now it's noon the next day and I haven't heard from them. Like all these things. Did I say too much at dinner? Did they not like my hair? Like, did they not think
mm,
I was as pretty in person? All of these thoughts. And it's like, step back, take a breath, and think really seriously about like compatibility, stages of life, like senses of humor, like just who they are as a person. Just really think for a second, do I like
yeah.
them? Because we get fucking absorbed with, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Am I good enough for this other person? And we forget to just fucking think for a second, do I even like them? Would this person even really be in the big picture suitable for me?
Yeah. And you know, I just had a conversation with my CSP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About kind of that because we were like talking about we weren't really we were kind of clashing at the start because we don't really have much in common
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't really get each other's humor and we're like then we realized the way we communicate is actually pretty good and then we were pretty patient and we took the time to like really like learn things about each other. And it was funny. They were like, and then I asked you one time to leave me alone, and you actually left me alone, and that's what got me. And I was like, oh, okay.
Like over text, like they said.
Well, they had said something along the lines of like, oh, like I'm not gonna be on my phone that much, and I was like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, cool, I'll just talk to you whenever. Then
Yeah.
they were like, okay.
Well, and that's just an example of secure attachment where you weren't thinking like, oh my God, why aren't they texting me? Like, should I call? Like, where are they? Like,
Oh, for sure. Do I freaking tap my phone every 2 seconds to see if they texted me? Yeah, but
maybe.
maybe no. It's
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah. And
Um,
and so on that same kind of wave of do they like me versus do I even fucking like them? Like, oh my
yeah,
God, so many instances of that growing up where
yeah.
I was so consumed by what does he think of me? Like, am I good enough for him? And then it's like, bitch, is he good enough for you? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no, not really. So, and so anyway, similarly to that, like knowing when it's them and not you. Like
Ugh.
knowing when you've done what you can do and you're not going to change this person, like especially if,
I'm the worst for that.
yeah, but what, like thinking you can change people?
Oh my god. Or
That's
like also being like, even though it was sometimes it's them, I'm like, it was me.
yeah. And a lot of the time it's a little bit of both, but
Yeah.
um I can sorry, another thought to branch off that like um I'll often hear, people are like, okay, this one is a hurt. It can be potentially big hurt feelings, but when someone says to you, not from me, I just mean like this concept, because it would be hard for me, but when someone says to you, I've decided I'm not ready. Actually, you know what? This could apply to you. You told, I don't know her fake name, but anyway, a girl you were seeing recently that you decided you
Oh,
weren't actually. Should I stop?
Leah.
Leah. Okay, should I stop?
No, fine. Go.
No, I should stop. No, no,
Just
no.
go. We
Okay.
already started.
I should have just kept it about no one, and then I had to. Anyways, um, so uh, I don't know anymore. No, okay, sorry. The point of what I'm saying is we get in situations where,
You can say it.
okay. So Stella said to Leah, "I'm not ready for a relationship. I've come to the realization that I'm not really ready, and this is why, and blah blah blah." And now, a few months later,
Oh,
what did you think I was going to say?
we're not talking about the same person. That
Oh,
their name wasn't Leah.
oh, okay, yeah, no,
I
not.
don't know what the heck their name was.
But you know what? You know what it doesn't. Okay, good,
Yes.
good. It's all yes. Okay, I don't know who it was. We don't know their name. It's fine. Um, but saying I'm not ready for a relationship, and then, um, a couple months later, this person that just told you they weren't ready for a relationship is now with somebody else. That fucking hurts. Like it happens, and that hurts. But what my thought on that is like kind of being when a person says to you, I don't want to continue because I don't think I'm ready for anything serious, you need to kind of at least a little bit mentally prepare for that to be for the truth behind that half true sentence to be, I'm not ready for a relationship with you. And
Uh,
what's easier? Hey, Stella, I'm not ready for a relationship. Or for me to say, hey, Stella, I'm not really that interested in you. Like, I don't like you that much. Like, and what fuck, we're sitting out here preaching courageous communication and blah, 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 and saying, hey, you know what? I'm just not that into you. Everybody
uh,
who can do that, I love that for you. I'm not at that level of bravery yet. I'd love to be. I will someday, but I would be totally like
Yeah.
someone that would do that to say like, I'm just not really ready for anything serious. And then, so and so pops out with a girlfriend and you're like, oh, okay. So it wasn't like, and
I
that
don't
kind
have
of,
a girlfriend.
yeah, well, no, you don't have a girlfriend. You don't have a partner.
I
But
don't have
no, you don't, no. But, but if you did, obviously, somebody that you had just said. Anyway, the point is that like that branched off of knowing when it's them and not you.
mm.
And I don't know. And then yeah, I mean that situation hurts, but
Well, then that comes in ties with like knowing when to walk away, right?
yeah, knowing, oh yeah, for sure. Like knowing when you've done what you can do and you are going to continue to be let down and continue to be hurt. If you tell somebody, 2, 3 times that this is a change that you'd like to see in the relationship or from them or whatever it is, even it's as simple as doing the dishes or making the bed in the morning. If you say it enough, like several times, then I know there's people, married couples of 30 years that will say like, oh, I've been telling him to take out the trash for 20 years and he never will or whatever. I don't know.
Mm.
And I'm not saying like, oh, you're settling for like blah blah. I'm just saying like generally like if you
Well,
tell about more serious like emotional stuff, if you talk to your partner several times about something that is important to you and they just discredit or disregard,
mm.
then they're not going to change. Like,
Yeah. Which is like again the next thing. Like, are you settling? Like,
mhm,
it is. And I remember I was talking to my friends about like some of the last couple of girls I've talked to, and I'm like, I don't know, like they're great, but then this, and and they're like, well, why are you still with them then? And I'm like, well, they're pretty great, but like, and they're like, but you're settling, Stella. They're like, it's not all like you want to find someone with like most of these, and this person has like maybe one or two. Like, why are you settling? Because what you're scared that you're not gonna find those other two and other people. Like,
mhm,
I
mhm,
guess. And so I'm trying to be better about being like, you know what? I'm not that interested, and I think I want something more.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and um e- one thing too though, when okay, so when I call you crying or not and I'm seeing someone or whatever, I'm not calling you to say, oh, like this person brought me flowers and we had the best date and we like, I mean, you texted me yesterday telling me how great your sex was, which is great. And so once in a while we do. I'm just explode. Yes, you're welcome, Margot. I am going to air that out here. Love you, girl. Can't wait to meet you. I'm hoping to meet you when I'm in Ottawa this week. Anyways, um, uh, wow, derailed my thought. What was I? Oh yeah. We don't usually text each other with good news. If I text you, it's to say, what the fuck? This person did this. What do you think I should do? Like, so then your perception of this person that I'm seeing is fucking negative. And we don't go to our friends to brag about our partners as often. I'd say 20% of the time. 80%
Mm,
of the time we go to our friends because we need support. We're venting. Our partner said something stupid. Our partner did something dumb and we go to our friends for that support.
mhm,
But then our friends are like, what the fuck, Sarah? All you've said is shitty things about this person. But it's like, no, because that's really a small portion of this relationship. You just aren't there for the other 90% where we're in love and everything's fine. So
mhm.
knowing, but I think at our age, we also understand that as well. Like we understand that we don't know the relationship of
Yeah.
our friends, like partners.
Yeah, I guess that's yeah.
So obviously, if it's really like serious stuff, I would tell you like, oh, okay, like you guys don't really seem that compatible. Like I'll support you, blah blah blah. But
Mm,
maybe you're settling, like sort of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And at our age, there's no reason to settle for anything. Like I feel like we have so many options. Not to be like, not a, that's not a flex. I just mean like, well, right? Like I don't know.
Mm,
And we are whole on our own, so we are not desperately grasping for a partner.
yeah.
And so if the person we're getting to know doesn't really fit our lifestyle, it's not like a huge, I'm not saying it's not a loss, like these are humans and it's sad to not continue a relationship if it's something you're interested in. But I don't know, just knowing when to walk away, knowing when you're settling and when you don't, knowing when you're done settling.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's fair.
The last point, just a concept that I've heard a lot of over the years that I definitely have used and been a part of is the term project boyfriend.
I've never heard that. I don't know what you're talking about.
So like, okay, um, project boyfriend means uh, getting to know someone and seeing that they have a lot to work on with themselves and
Oh,
telling yourself, I can change him or her. I can change them. Like, I know that he or she, they are doing this, that, and the other, but if he really loves me, he's going to change.
ooh,
Like,
okay.
I think an example, obviously, front of mind is alcohol. Like, I know that he's drinking a lot and he does this, that, and whatever when he's drinking. And yes, he punched a hole through the drywall, but he loves me and this is going to change. Like,
Jesus.
he's working on himself. Like, and I didn't mean that in a physical abuse. I just meant that in the teenage boy gets drunk and punches a hole in the wall. And also
Okay.
teenage Stel as well. Um, I'm feeling feisty today. I'm just, um, but yeah, feeling like or like when you meet someone and they are uninterested in communicating and they are like, I don't know, if they show you their true colors and you decide to paint over them and say like, oh well, like he'll change for me or they'll change for me, that's a project boyfriend, feeling like you're taking on a project of like fixing, quote unquote, fixing
Mhm.
someone to better suit your lifestyle. If they when they show you who they are, don't ignore that, because it would be unfair for you to start dating someone who, let's say, has an alcohol problem or a drug addiction or whatever, and then 6 months down the line they're still doing that, whatever that is, and then for you to say, well, oh, I really thought that they would have like changed for me. Like, you knew who they
Mhm.
were when you met them. You can't,
Yeah.
like, yes, people change for sure, especially, people have kids and then they stop smoking, or people have, stop drinking, and
Yeah.
absolutely people can change for a partner. I'm not saying you can't, but you need to meet people where they are. And
Yeah, no, for sure.
if you want to be with that person, you want to be with who they are right now
Mhm.
and then grow together, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
No, I
it's
agree.
basically not, I'm saying don't pursue something that is going to feel like a project relationship that you
Yeah.
have to work on,
I completely agree with you.
especially right off the bat. I've always said, and I've had people recently challenge me on this theory, but not the PP theory. That's a different one.
Oh, thank God.
The theory that if you're having serious issues in the first like 2 months, like honeymoon stage, or even 3 months probation period, then it's not looking good. Like, if you guys are having really big fights and really big concerns that early in the relationship, I don't know. I kind of think like, maybe it's not going to go that well then, because what do you really have to be angry about in those first couple like weeks or months?
Yeah, that's fair. That's really fair.
Mhm.
Damn. You really know how to get the brain moving.
Yeah, that's me.
Um, Project Boyfriend. I've never heard of that.
Our project, whatever.
Yeah. Huh. Which is fair. I find I'm guilty of that. Like I'm like, ooh, shiny.
Hmm. And that you could fix them, feeling like you can
Yeah.
change them and help them and make
Yeah.
them a better person or
I
all that
used
kind
to
of
be
thing.
really bad for it. I'm not as bad anymore. Like I don't look for that. And honestly, sometimes it scares me away. But
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. But that's all we have for today. If you're still listening, thank you, because this was a
So
pretty random ramble sesh.
for sure.
Um, but it all comes down to communication and knowing what you deserve and advocating for yourself.
Seriously.
That's the
Just
main.
don't settle and fuck the bare minimum.
Hmm. Don't settle for the
Seriously.
bare minimum. That is for sure. Know what
No,
you
fuck it.
deserve and push for that. And
It's okay to like speak up for yourself.
mhm. And just
important.
don't settle.
Yeah.
There's so many options, and it doesn't matter whether you're 20 or 80. Like, don't settle for a relationship where you're not feeling like fully fulfilled
Hmm.
and in love with that person, and also in love with who you are with them is a good
Hmm.
guide as well.
That's good.
So yeah, that's about it for today.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for listening, guys.
thanks for listening, and we will see you next week, and we will be in studio, and I'm very, very excited about that.
I'm stoked.
Yay. So thank you for listening, and thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.